So this is a video about all the mods I've done to my Everest since I've had it. I did do a previous video on mods that I did to it, but I've done a few more things to it, and I thought I would just do a video on everything that I've done so far. And let's start with the front of the car. I inserted some driving lights in the grille over there. So there's 3 of them. So when the park lights come on, those come on. I changed the headlights, and it's a bit bright now to show you guys the headlights, but I'll put an insert in here now while I'm busy talking about them to show you guys what they look like. And this is for a right-hand drive model, but they do make left-hand drive as well, and I'll put links in the description for all the mods that I've done, all the accessories and things that I've fitted to it, so you guys can see where to get them. And changing the headlights was not an easy job. I did do a video on that, and I'll put a link to that at the end of this video, and you guys can see how I actually did that. But it wasn't an easy job. I had to take the whole bumper off and the grille, and there were some hidden screws and bolts and stuff that I had to find. There were no videos on how to take these front bumpers off on these cars, so I had to figure out how to do that myself. And I'm very happy the headlights have been performing very, very well. They're LED, full LED, low beam, high beam, as well as DRLs. And they've been performing pretty well. I've read some horror stories on the web that they fail after a week or so. And I've had these headlights now for about 2 months, and I haven't had any issues with them. They work perfectly every time. And when I actually fitted the headlights, I also changed the headlight switch, because I found that the wiring for the height adjustment on the electronic height adjustment on the headlights was actually there. It was actually in behind the headlights. So I thought, well, if the plug is there for the headlights, then the plug that's leading to the switch must have the wire there as well, and I was right. So that was just a lucky strike. I don't know if the same would apply to a lesser model. This is an XLT, so the wiring was there. I think if you have an XLS or an XL, then most likely the wiring isn't there. Then the next thing I did is I changed the mirror covers from chrome to gloss black, and these are just plastic gloss black mirror covers, and they've got all the clips and everything, so you just unclip the chrome ones and you just clip these on, and they work great. And then I have these directional indicators that I put in here, and they look great with the black mirrors as well. And around the back I did a video on fitting and installing these taillights, which I got from Alibaba. And I negotiated with a seller to buy 1 set, because usually you have to buy 2 sets or more. They don't like selling only 1 set, but I managed to get 1 set, and later on I actually bought a spare set just in case he's failed. But these have been performing very well so far as well. I was a little bit worried about water ingress, that kind of thing, and then somebody did also point out that I routed the wire the wrong way. And I fixed that. There's a grommet behind here where the cable actually goes through, and I ran the cable through that grommet and for the outer light, so that the wires don't get wet. And then I bought this, and they warned me when I bought it, and I didn't do a video on this, and the reason for that is it's probably the most difficult thing I've fitted to the car so far. And I'll just give you guys a view of what it looks like. I'll insert a clip now of what it looks like at night, and then you guys can see the light bar actually lights up when you turn on the taillights, and then the light bar goes brighter, and the word Everest lights up when you hit the brakes. So the nice thing about this though is that it easily plugs into the wiring of the new taillights. So I would recommend, if you do want to fit this light bar, you should actually get the taillights as well. It's not cheap. This light bar ran me about $450, including shipping and import duties and everything, so not a cheap affair. But I think that it completes the entire look, and you know, the chrome being deleted just looks so much better now, and it looks so much more aggressive, you know. And the other thing is, in taking the chrome thing off, there are so many screws and nuts and bolts behind here. You've got to take the whole thing off, including the camera down here. This whole thing, all of this, comes off. And I saw a video on YouTube on how to kind of remove this thing, but they didn't show everything in their video. It was just a sort of high-speed video on how they did it. So, but I did realize in that video that you got to just take the whole chrome thing off with the camera and everything. It's all got to come off. I thought the chrome could just unclip and you could stick this on, but no, you can't do that. So you have to take everything off, and you have to take this bottom section over here with the license plate lights, and you have to attach that to this new light that you're actually fitting to the car. And it was a very, very difficult exercise to pull off. But so for that reason I didn't do a video, because it took me literally a whole day just to do that, and it would have taken even probably 2 days to film and do a video on that, so I didn't do that. And then the rest of the mods are actually inside the car, and I'll show you what they look like now. So you'll see that when I open the car, the mirrors unfold automatically, and that is due to a box that I bought. It's like a control unit, and I actually put it inside here. And because I couldn't get the cable through here, I just ran it through there. It's got very, very good braided wire, so I took it in there, and that's how I got the mirrors to work. And not only that, what this module does, it plugs into your electric mirror switch over there, and then it also plugs in, when you take it through by your door, it plugs into your window switch, and you need to have the window switch that says auto, like that. And what that does is you can actually use the key fob to open all the windows by pressing the unlock, lock and unlock again, and what happens is all the windows go down, and then if you press lock, unlock, lock, all the windows close up. So that's a function this car didn't have when I bought it. And I was happy to see that there was an aftermarket version, which I bought and installed. And then the other thing I did is I did do a video on the ambient lighting, and you can see over here I've got a strip over there, but I'll put a plug now, an insert of what the ambient lighting looks like inside the car. But there's ambient lighting in the door bins. There's ambient lighting all around the leather over there, and there's ambient lighting in the door handles. You can buy the Symphony one, or you can buy just the plain one where it will cycle through colors automatically. And I put the button for that down here, so just pressing that button, every time you press a button it will change the color of the ambient lighting in the car. And I have a strip in there as well, and then there's lighting in the footwells as well, and you guys can see while I'm busy talking what that actually looks like, and it really looks awesome at night. It's really a nice place to be at night. The other thing I did is I fitted a dash cam, which is it's actually made to fit the plastic piece that sits here. The plastic piece that sits here on the OEM ends there, and on the dash cam it just goes a little bit further, so it's all covered by this black stuff here on the windshield. And the dash cam, this one is a 2K. I have another one coming. I've ordered one with a rear camera, which actually works, because this one had a rear camera but the rear camera didn't work. And the Chinese guy that I was dealing with on AliExpress, he he saw me coming from a mile because he then charged me extra money for a new cable. That didn't work. Then he charged me more money for a new rear camera, and that didn't work. When I filed a dispute, the time had already run out, so I lost all my money basically, and only thing that's working right now is the front camera. So at least I do have a front camera for now, but when I get the other one, I'll probably do a video on how to install this. And it has a little SD card over there, and it films up to 2K, and yeah, it works with Wi-Fi. So you connect it via a app on your phone, and you can even download the video straight to your phone from the camera using the Wi-Fi link. And the password is just 12345678, and you can connect to it. So very easy. The other thing I did is I wrapped a lot of the interior items in a wood vinyl, and because I don't like this grey insipid stuff that they've put inside here, it really looks bland and boring, and I did those. I had wrap on there, but I took it off because it started bubbling, and I'm going to have to redo that piece, and it's a very difficult piece to do because it's so big. It's a lot of real estate to cover, and to try and get a piece on there without getting any bubbles is very, very difficult. So I'm just waiting for the weather to get a little hotter. You need hot weather to do vinyl wrap, so that I can just, you know, when I heat it up, it will just stay a little bit warmer for longer. And the other thing that I did is I got a gloss black. I don't really like gloss black in cars, but I don't like the grey that is usually on the steering wheel. And I also covered the steering wheel with a pre-cut steering wheel cover that I bought on AliExpress, and I sewed it on myself. So there you can see, you actually have to sew it on. So the whole thing looks OEM, and the steering wheel is much chunkier because you actually put this cover over the old leather, and I didn't like the feel of the leather that Ford actually fitted on you. I don't think it's real leather if you ask me, but this is just much more chunkier. It's nice to drive now. It makes the steering wheel feel smaller and not bigger, oddly enough. And this cover just covers up all that grey trim over here, and it just sticks on with double-sided tape. And well, you got to make sure you line it up really well, because once it's stuck on, it is stuck. It's not going to come off. So that's one good thing. I did get covers to put over this wood trim over here so that I could wrap those covers properly, but I'm not quite sure if I want to do that. I might just re-wrap this because there are some bubbles forming up here, if you guys can see that, and I'm not happy with that. So that was the first one I actually did, and when the weather's warmer I might decide to just re-wrap them, or wrap the covers that I bought and then stick the covers over the grey trim that was there. I didn't bother wrapping those because those take a lot of wear and tear, especially when you take the door card off. You have to take that whole cover off, and I think every time one gets a trim tool in there, you're going to end up ripping the vinyl. So I didn't really want to do that, but they are pretty scuffed as it is. Oh, the other thing is, I did do a video on installing these as well. Now I can't put a link to that at the end of this video, but you'll find it on my channel. All four doors have them, so they light up in blue, and the Ford logo lights up as well. I can show you a video of that too. But I did do an install video on that, and this lights up nicely. And then what I did is I actually put, because the wire goes up here, I just put a black strip over there to hide the wire, so it looks like it's in line with the foot plate or the scuff plate. And even though it's glass, this is actually glass, but it's wearing very well. It's got no scratches on it. It's just very dirty right now because from when I washed my car, I didn't wipe them, I didn't clean them, and my car does need a wash. It's quite dirty. And then the other thing is we replaced this. It said 2.26 speed auto, quite a lot of information, so we just changed that to Everest. And then we got these decals off AliExpress as well and installed them on the car, and I think that looks very, very nice. You get different colors. You get blue, black, gray, white, but you can see the overall effect of what that looks like, and that's also worn very, very well actually. And here, if I lock the car, you'll see that the mirrors will fold in automatically, just like my Jag used to do. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.